prized above life. And Christ is most glorified in life when we are most satisfied in Him, even before death. The authenticating inner essence of worship is to be satisfied or filled with Christ, prizing Christ, cherishing Christ, treasuring Christ. When I describe that what we do on Sunday morning is to go strong after God, this is what I mean. We are going strong after satisfaction in God. We are going strong after God as our prize. And going strong after God as our treasure, our soul food, our heart's desire, our spirit's pleasure. Because we know from Philippians 1, 20 and 21, that treasuring Christ as gain magnifies Him, exalts Him, and worships Him. Let me draw out some implications of this for worship. Number one, the pursuit of joy in God. The pursuit of joy in God is not optional. It is our highest duty. You know, there are millions of Christians, sadly, who have absorbed a popular ethic that says it is morally defective to seek our happiness even in God. This is an absolutely dreadful, dreadly, spirit-killing philosophy. And it's deadly for authentic worship. To the degree that this ethic flourishes, to that degree, worship dies. Because the inner essence of worship is satisfaction and fulfillment in God, experiencing God as gain. Listen, there is great joy and peace to be found in this. Therefore, I say to you that the basic attitude of worship, listen to this. I say to you that the basic attitude of worship on Sunday morning is not to come with your hands full to give to God, but with your hands empty to receive from God. And what you receive in worship is God, not entertainment. You ought to come hungry for God. You ought to come saying, as a deer pants for flowing springs, so my soul pants for Thee, O God. God is mightily honored when the people know that they will die of hunger and thirst unless they have God. Recovering the righteousness and indispensability of pursuing our satisfaction in God will go a long way to restoring the authenticity and power of worship. Another implication of saying that the essence of worship is satisfaction in God is that worship becomes radically God-centered. Nothing makes God more supreme, more central, than when a people are utterly persuaded that nothing, not money or prestige, leisure or family, job or health, sports or toys or friends, nothing is going to bring satisfaction to their aching hearts besides God. This conviction breeds a people who go hard after God on Sunday morning. They are not confused about why they are here. They do not see songs and prayers and sermons as mere traditions or mere duties. They see them as a means of getting to God, or God getting to them for more of His fullness, which they want because God is gained. Now listen, as the focus shifts onto our giving to God, one result that I've seen over and over again is that over time, subtly, it is not God that remains at the center, but our quality of gifts, the quality of our giving. We begin to ask ourselves, are we singing worthily of the Lord? Are our instrumentalists playing with quality, fitting a gift to God? Is the preaching of high enough caliber to be an offering to the Lord? And little by little, the focus shifts off the utter indispensability of the Lord Himself and onto the quality of our performances. And we even start to define excellence and power in worship in terms of the technical distinction of our artistic acts. Nothing keeps God at the center of worship like the biblical conviction that the essence of worship is deep, heartfelt satisfaction in Him. And the conviction that the pursuit of that satisfaction is why we are here. The third implication of saying that the essence of worship is satisfaction or fulfillment in God is that it protects the primacy of worship as an end in itself. If the essence of worship is satisfaction in God, then worship can't be done authentically as a means to anything else. Listen closely. You simply can't say to God, I want to be satisfied with you so that I can have something else. A new car, a new job. Because that would mean you are not really satisfied in God, but in that something else. And that would dishonor God, not worship Him. But in fact, and I want you to listen, and I'm done with this because this is important. But in fact, thousands of people and pastors, the event of worship on Sunday morning is conceived of as a means to accomplish something other than worship. We worship to raise money. We worship to attract crowds. We worship to heal human hearts. We worship to recruit workers. We worship to improve church morale. We worship to give talented musicians an opportunity to fulfill their calling. We worship to teach our children the way of righteousness. We worship to help marriages stay together. We worship to evangelize the lost among us. We worship to motivate people for service projects. We worship to give our churches a family feeling. On and on. In all of this, we are bearing witness that we do not know what true worship is. Genuine affections for God are an end in themselves. I cannot say to Pauline, I feel a strong affection, delight in you, so that you will make me a nice meal. That's not the way delight works. If I do it it has to terminate on her, not the meal. It doesn't have a nice meal in view. I cannot say to my son, I love playing ball with you, so you'll cut the grass later. Where does my focus terminate? On my delight for my son or on cutting the grass? If your heart really delights in playing ball with him, that delight cannot be performed as a means to getting him to do something else. Do you see how that transposes to God? Now, I am not denying that authentic worship may have 100 good effects on the life of the church. All those things that I mentioned before are effects of authentic worship. They're not the goal, they're the effects. It will, just as true affection in marriage makes everything better, my point is that to the degree that we worship for these reasons, to that degree it ceases to be authentic worship. Keeping satisfaction in God at the center guards us from that tragedy. Finally, the last implication of saying that the essence of worship is being satisfied with God or fulfilled with God is that this accounts for why Paul makes all of life an expression of worship. We read in Romans 12:1, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your body as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. That is what I want you to carry home in your hearts today. May God bless each of you and protect you in your journey.